Today, we're not just talking about getting older. Nope, we're talking about getting stronger, more vibrant, and actually seizing control of the aging process itself. We're going to rewrite the script.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if everything we've been told about aging, the inevitable decline, the weakness, what if it's all just a story? A story that you have to power to edit, revise, and completely transform.
You know the feeling, right? That little groan when you get off the couch or feeling totally winded after just one flight of stairs. We've all been taught to just kind of accept these things as a normal part of getting older. But what if they're not? What if they're actually signals, not of old age, but of a lifestyle we absolutely have the power to change?
And this brings us to a really crucial distinction. See, lifespan is just a number. It's how many years you're on the planet. But health span, now that's the real prize. That's the number of years you live with energy, with vitality. It's about being able to travel, to play with your grandkids, to live life to the fullest, right up to the very end. We don't just want a long life. We want a long, incredible health span.
So here's our blueprint for this explainer. First, we're going to tear down the myths of aging. Then, we'll uncover your body's secret reset button. We'll talk about the right fuel, discover why strength is a total non-negotiable, and finally, we're going to reframe your entire concept of time itself.
First up, let's completely rewire our thinking. This isn't about accepting decline, it's about demanding growth. You gotta hear this. Meet Miyuki Miyata. She didn't just pick up some weights later in life. She became a bodybuilding champion at 70 years old. Her story is such a powerful example that our bodies are designed to adapt and grow at any age. And her secret? It's so simple but so profound. When you challenge your body, it doesn't break down. It builds itself back up, stronger.
So here's the big takeaway. So much of what we call aging is actually just the body adapting to us doing less. It's logical, right? When we stop lifting things, our muscles shrink. When we move less, our bones get less dense. The body's just being super efficient, getting rid of what it thinks we don't need anymore. But we can change that signal. We can totally change the message we're sending it. Okay, next, let's pull back the curtain on your body's powerful built-in reset button, a system for cellular cleanup and renewal that most of us don't even know we have. The process is called autophagy. It literally means self-eating, and I love this housekeeper metaphor. Just imagine this little crew that goes through your entire body, finds all the old, broken-down zombie cells that cause problems, and not only throws them out, but recycles their parts to build brand new, youthful cells. How cool is that?
So how do we get this housekeeper on the clock? Well, there are two incredibly powerful ways. First, intermittent fasting. When you give your body a break from constantly digesting food, your insulin levels drop, and that's the green light for the cleanup crew to get to work. Second is an ancient technique called Kumbhak, or breath holding. This short, voluntary, controlled stress tells your body, hey, time to go into deep repair mode, and it can even wake up dormant stem cells.
And the importance of breath, it's written all over the natural world. This slide just puts it into such stark perspective. A dog, with its rapid, panting breaths, lives about 15 years. A turtle, with its slow, deep, deliberate breaths, can live for centuries. The pace of our breath is directly tied to the pace of our aging.
Okay, so activating our internal housekeeper is one thing, but you can't build a strong new house with bad materials, right? So for our third point, let's talk about fuel. The number one villain in this story is sugar. It causes something called glycation. Now, just imagine you've got this bouncy, flexible jelly, and then you pour hot caramel all over it. What happens? The jelly gets hard, stiff, and brittle. That is exactly what sugar does to the collagen that keeps your skin firm and your joints flexible.
The other enemy is inflammation, which comes from things like stress and fried foods. A great way to think of it is like rust forming on your cells, and the way to fight back is with an anti-rust toolkit full of antioxidants. The best part? You can find them in everyday foods like turmeric, garlic, onions, and all those dark leafy greens.
All right, let's talk about the true fountain of youth. And spoiler alert, it's not some magic potion you drink, it's your own muscle. So, after the age of 30, this quiet process called sarcopenia begins. It's just the age-related loss of muscle. And as you can see from this chart, it speeds up with every single decade, making us weaker, slowing our metabolism, just leaving us vulnerable. But, and this is the most important part, this is not a one-way street. It is 100% reversible. And you can fight back without having to live in a gym. Seriously, first, give your body the building blocks it needs by eating your protein first at every meal. Then, try these exercise snacks. These are just tiny 2 to 3 minute bursts of activity that really add up. And you don't need fancy equipment. Water bottles, a chair, your own body weight, they're all fantastic tools. The bottom line is this. Strong muscles do way more than just help you open jars. They are, quite literally, bubble wrap for your skeleton. They absorb shock, they stabilize your joints, and they become your #1 defense against the kinds of falls and fractures that can really change your life as you get older. And now for our final and maybe the most profound pillar of them all. This is where we tie everything together by looking at the ultimate currency of our lives. I really want you to let this quote sink in for a moment. What if our time here isn't measured in years, but in breaths? It completely changes how you view everything. Are we spending our breaths recklessly, in a hurry, or are we investing them wisely for a long, healthy life? This slide just lays it out so clearly. Your breath is a remote control for your body's state. When you're stressed out, your breathing gets fast and shallow, and your body gets flooded with cortisol. But when you consciously slow your breath down, you flip the switch. You put your nervous system into rest and digest mode, and that's the state where all the healing and cellular repair actually happens. And the real magic, the secret sauce, happens in the space between the breaths. That little pause, that moment of stillness, that's where the reset happens. By learning to consciously make that pause just a little bit longer, you are giving your body and your mind the time they need to recover and rejuvenate. It is the ultimate life hack. So I want to leave you with this one final thought. You've got about 22,000 breaths today. That's not just a number, it's your daily allowance of life force. You can spend them frantically, chasing the clock, stressed out, or you can invest them with intention, slowing down and lengthening your health span. The choice and the pen to rewrite your own script is entirely